Hey guys, in this video I'm going to discuss about the project which I am currently working on. This is going to clarify a lot of doubts like what are the day-to-day activities of a DevOps engineer, how Ansible and Terraform works, what is GitOps and how does it work, how infrastructure is provisioned in the real world, how can we write scripts, which tools we should focus at this moment to crack the interviews, recent interview questions which are faced by few of our students, and so on. It is going to be a lengthy video, but definitely it worth to watch it. If you have any questions, please write in the comment section. I do my best to answer. I'm really excited to share this knowledge with you. Without further ado, let's dive in. So we are going to discuss about the project architecture, then project business lines. In a company, how the business lines works, if it is exist. It doesn't mean that okay, everybody should have the same, but this is the again a project specific. I'm going to explain about that how I am working. So it will give some inputs and whatever projects you have worked or you are working or you are practicing, you can add something more to those by taking this information. That is the overall idea. Next, how the pipelines, how the DevOps pipelines and GitOps pipelines we are using. If somebody doesn't know about the GitOps, we are going to discuss that in a way so that you can understand better. And what can you focus? So now there are so many tools in the DevOps, right? Okay, so if you are hunting for a job, okay, which tools you can focus more so that uh, you can put less efforts to gain more knowledge and to crack the interviews or to work in the real world. Next, current market opportunities. So how the market is right now and how you can grab opportunities if you want to what I can say, if you want to enter into the DevOps market or if you want to do the job search. Okay, that is overall agenda of today's session, and this is going to be only one session. Okay, and if needed, okay, based on the students' interest, I might come up with these kind of sessions at least once in a week. That is what I'm thinking, but let's see how it goes. Okay, based on your response, we will try to bring more real-time trainers or whatever I work or whatever other trainers who knows me works. So such kind of people we will bring and we will try to give this kind of sessions. Okay, but that we are going to discuss in the later. But let's dive into the discussion. So first thing, I'm going to talk about what tools we are using over here, and next we are going to see how we are using these. Okay. So first thing, the tools what we are using over here is infrastructure as a code. Okay, I missed A over here, but yeah. So infrastructure as a code, we are using Terraform. Okay, and we are deeply using Terraform over here. Most of the stuff, whatever we would like to provision in our current environment, we are going to use the Terraform. But here and there are some shell scripts and Python scripts as well. Okay. Next thing, version control system, we are using GitLab. Okay. Next thing, CI tool. CI tool, nothing but if we want to build or deploy something, we are using GitLab. Okay, especially for GitOps, we are using GitLab. Even application deployments also, we are using the GitLab. Actually, we will call it as a GitLab runners. I will talk about GitLab runners. If you people are new about the GitLab, I will just give you a brief introduction about that in a while. Next thing, CD tool, continuous delivery or continuous deployment tool. We are using Ansible or GitLab. Both are working because both are configured in a single system. Based on requirement, we use either Ansible or GitLab runner. Okay. Next, okay, it should be artifact. Okay, so artifacts storing purpose, we are using JFrog Artifactory. Deployment environment, mostly we are using AWS EKS, and we have another environment which follows the same, but I'm a AWS expert, so I involved in the AWS EKS, but we have also the Azure department as well. They are using the Azure AKS. Okay, but all our 90% of our applications working on the what I can say EKS, but in most of the companies it won't be the case. Around 40-50% would be working on the EKS cluster. Remaining could be the standalone systems, because all systems might not be a microservice based applications. Few might be a VM based, few not yet migrated into the microservice architecture. Like that it would be there. So it will be a combination in the most of the projects, but it is a mature project what I'm working. So that's why uh, we are working on more EKs, because recently they have migrated everything or redesigned the entire application. Next, cloud, we are using AWS. As I said, we are also using the Azure cloud. How many environments we have for AWS? Similar way for Azure also it is there. And for monitoring purpose, Datadog we are using. So these are the list of the stack of tools which we are using. Apart from this, we are also using some other tools like SYNC, okay, SYNK sync, okay, that will be like monitoring your environment if there is any vulnerabilities or some compromise in the environments. It is going to send notification. For password purpose we are using other, for calling purpose pager duty. There are minimal tools, but majorly these are the tools you should know when we are talking about the DevOps. That is the reason I kept the tools which are we are using more. Honestly, we are not using Ansible much over here. Maybe going forward we might decommission Ansible systems and we more work with the GitLab runners. Okay, I will talk about that in a while. If I missed that, please remind me why it is going to be the case in our case, or in DevOps environment also. The utilization of Ansible may go down. Okay, that is my assumption. Down the 2 years or 3 years line, it may go down. I will talk about this one. Okay, but if I missed it, please remind me to talk about it. So for clear.
Shankar, one question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mainly Ansible used for configuration management, right? As per my knowledge, here you are
Yes.
using CD tool as Ansible. How it's possible? I mean, how to implement that? I don't know. That's why you can concentrate on that little bit.
CD tool nothing but it will take the application and deploy it. Ansible can able to do that one, right? If you write an Ansible playbook, that okay, what I can say, create a Docker image in the Ansible playbook and deploy it as a pod. Can you do that one?
Yeah, I never tried. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't try it. I tried it. It works.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, this
If
is
you
a
go through
requirement
with my,
or you opted in is company requirement or you opted for your project?
no, it is. Sorry, come again.
I mean, Ansible.
Mhm.
Ansible, you opted or company has instructed you have to use this Ansible as a CD tool
No,
like
it
that.
is already in place. It is already
Okay.
in place. I am not working on to use all these tools. It is already defined in our environment to use these tools. We are using it. But going forward, we might decommission Ansible. Okay, that is the hint they are giving to me while we are working.
Yeah, yeah, because main versatile tools are there for CD. Then
Yeah, there are
Ansible.
Argo CD is coming up.
Yeah,
That is what we want to use it.
CD, Argo
Apart from
CD.
that, there is another, what I can say, again, the usage of Ansible is going down. Okay,
Yeah,
because, okay, anyway, the discussion came. So Ansible usually what does it do? It do the configuration management. Okay, let me
yeah,
open the
yeah,
paint.
right.
Okay, so what it will do, if you have a server, okay, if you have a server, if you want to do some installations, let's take that I want to install Git on my system, Java on my system, I want to create users on my system. Okay, these kind of activities your Ansible can do on the VM level, right? But if you see in the current scenarios, what you are doing, you are going to deploy all your applications as a microservices. Okay, whenever you do the installation of microservices on the base system, you are going to install very limited. And moreover, whenever you go with the EKS, I mean to say cloud managed Kubernetes cluster, these nodes are created by them itself. You just need to do these deployments. Okay, let's take this. In this pod you want to have the Git or Java or some other application. You don't need Ansible over here, right? How this
Yeah,
pod is getting created, or how this Docker file is getting created? Obviously, this
We have,
This
mm,
Docker or Docker container or pod is getting created out of Docker image.
yeah,
Okay? So Docker image, how you will get it? From Docker file. Can't you define the in a Docker file that what and all packages you need?
yeah, we can. Yeah,
We can define everything in the Docker file. Then what is the need of Ansible? So if you are having a VM based deployments more, in such cases, yes, Ansible usage is more. If your environment is moving towards to the containerization
yeah,
or
yeah,
microservice environments, then
yeah,
the Ansible utilization is going down.
yeah, yeah. In future, that only, right? Microservices, right? We are using,
Yeah,
right?
so that's why I said, yeah, for now we are using, going forward we might not use because most of our environments runs on the EKS, and there we can able to deploy it as a pods.
Mm.
Then we are not using much Ansible at this moment, except if there are a VM based changes if we want to do. Even we do the patching. For patching, we are also using the systems manager, which is a native AWS service. Okay. So like that, there are some alternative tools are coming in the AWS itself, which can help you. Even similar could be there in the Azure also. That's what I could see. So that's the reason we might not use Ansible in the going forward. Does it
Thank you.
make sense,
Yeah, yeah, right.
guys? Are you with me?
Yes, yes, we are with you.
Yeah, yes, Shankar.
All right. So those are the tools we are using. Next, to move on to the requirement. In my current organization, how we get the environment. As we are a infrastructure come DevOps team, so usually application teams or application verticals come and ask the environments. Okay, so usually what do they do? We are developing a new feature or new project. Okay, we will call it as a business lines over here. So we are creating a new business line. We need a three environments. Sorry, yeah, three environments we need. Okay, this is a project. So we need a dev environment, QA environment, and production environment. This is how they will come up with the requirement. Usually in the most of the organizations, what will happen, whenever they need for an environment, we need to design the architecture also for the environment. Okay, but here we are having at least 10 to 15 business lines. Okay, at this moment 15 are there already, so 15 are there, and it is quite we are going to create new business lines quite frequently, at least 3 4 business lines every year. Okay, so that's the reason what our previous, because it is already uh, in the in between of this project. Okay, so what they have done, they come up with an idea that, okay, instead of creating different architecture for the each environment, why don't we create the a common architecture for the entire environment. Okay, whatever environment you want to create, okay, we will come up with a common architecture, and you need to deploy your applications on the environment. So that common environment will be common for any business lines. Like if let's take that now you are asking me that, okay, you want me to create the three new environments: dev, QA, and production. So these three environments we will create the architecture as same, nothing but I will show you the architecture how we design. Before coming over here, I missed to add this diagram, but anyway, I will quickly draw the diagram. So how we define the architecture is, so usually, yeah, this is also helps little bit. So whenever there is three environments, what we do, we will create three different AWS accounts. Okay, it won't be in the single AWS account. There will be three different AWS account. This one we use as a dev, this one as a QA, and this one as a production. Because of these independent accounts, okay, it will be a individual environment. So in case dev is compromised, it won't affect other two systems. QA is compromised, it won't affect other system. Obviously production is more secure. Okay, we don't expect that our production is compromised. Okay, so this is how we will ask, because for AWS accounts also we have a dedicated team. They have to create AWS accounts. We don't create AWS accounts. We are having around 25 to 30 AWS accounts at least at this moment, because we have around 15 environments. So each environment have either three or two or even one environment based on the application criticality. Okay, so we ask three different AWS account. Let's talk about that in the one AWS account, how we can create the architecture. So anyway, whenever you create an application, what you need to whenever you want to deploy any um, environment, so of course you need a VPC and you need subnets, and within the subnets you are going to create the cluster. Okay, EKS cluster. And how many worker nodes you needed, that we are going to decide based on the project. By default, what we are going to do over here is, okay, whenever any new business line comes and ask for they need a new environment, we are going to create a VPC, okay, and 6 subnets. VPC should be caps, right? VPC, 6 subnets. And yeah, I think I kept it in my PPT as well. Yeah, it's already there. Okay, so what we do in the GitOps, okay, I will talk about GitOps in a while, but what we are going to create it is, sorry, yep, what we are going to create is, we create AWS secrets. First AWS account is there, then we are going to create AWS secrets. Why do we create AWS secrets is, we are going to use these secrets as part of our Terraform code. Okay, so what kind of secrets we are creating? Let's take that our AWS environment want to talk with the Datadog, so Datadog secrets we are going to create. Our AWS environment or our EKS cluster want to talk with the JFrog Artifactory. We create the JFrog Artifactory credentials, and we need some values related to the Route 53. We will add those. Like that, there are different secrets we are going to use, because you should not pass uh, credentials directly in any environments or any applications also. Please remember that. Okay, so in this case we are using AWS secrets because we are using GitOps. Now what is the GitOps? Anybody knows what is the GitOps? Yes, no, maybe.
GitHub
Please
Action.
ping in the chat. Huh?
No, no, Shankar. No, Shankar. Don't have much idea.
Okay,
Is
so
is it
now
the
we'll talk about the GitOps. Go ahead, Vijay.
actions, right?
No. Okay, so DevOps nothing but development plus operations, right? Okay. Similar way, GitOps nothing but, okay, version control system plus operations. A simple logic is how we are putting our code in the version control system, and without any manual intervention, how we are deploying into the target environments. Similar way, you are putting the infrastructure code in the GitHub or some version control system, and you are provisioning your infrastructure with the pipelines. That's it. Okay, now we are creating the infrastructure itself with the automation. If you are doing that one, then we call it as a GitOps, but your code will be available in the GitHub repository or GitLab Bitbucket somewhere in the version control system. If you are doing that one, that we call it as a GitOps. In my current environment, we are doing that one. Is it clear about GitOps? Your code, either it is a Terraform, Ansible, or cluster creation, anything, if you keep it in some version control system and you run a pipeline, that is going to create your environment. I mean to say infrastructure, then we call it as a your environment using GitOps. Okay. So to give best example, what we have done over
Shankar,
here is, go ahead.
Shankar, as you said that whenever we are doing the provisioning of the infra with
Hmm?
pipelines, that we call it as a GitOps. That means I do have one environment like we used to provision the infra backend is the Terraform code, but that particular jobs will runs through Jenkins. So that also comes as a GitOps.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is what
Okay,
I'm about to say. Okay.
okay, okay,
So
okay.
what we have done over here is to provision infrastructure. Of course, we need a infrastructure as a code. As I mentioned you guys, we are using Terraform as a infrastructure as a code. Our Terraform code, we kept it in the GitLab. Okay. And we have a GitLab runner, dedicated GitLab runner. Only it runs the infrastructure code. Infrastructure code, nothing but Terraform, Ansible playbooks, or Python shell scripts, such kind of things it will run in this GitLab runner. So this GitLab runner should have the Terraform installed, right? In such cases, because you are going to pull the code to this GitLab runner, that a Terraform code, you will just do the Terraform init, Terraform plan, Terraform apply on the target environment. And if it is required some Ansibles, it is going to run it. So we have installed this GitLab runner with the tools like Terraform, Ansible, and if necessary Git and few other stuff which are required, typically required for the infrastructure guy. As an infrastructure guy, what kind of tools do you use, install on your laptop? Similar kind of things we have installed. So we will run a job in the GitLab that, okay, now let's execute this one. Then this GitLab runner pull the code and it will going to initialize the Terraform apply on this AWS account. Then the AWS infrastructure is provisioned over in this environment, or sorry, in this account. This account is dev. As I said, we are just assuming that it is as a dev. So once this job is successfully completed, your dev environment will be ready. That we call it as a GitOps. It doesn't mean that you should use the GitLab runner. Okay, if you are having a confusion of GitLab runner, just think that GitLab runner is a Jenkins slave. Okay, usually Jenkins master will be there and there will be a slave. So slave is going to take care of the all the headache of building and deploying the infrastructure, sorry, building the running the pipelines, right? Okay, so here GitLab itself works as a master. The GUI what you can see, that works as a master. You don't require a dedicated master if you are using a GitLab, but you need a GitLab runner nothing but a server. It is a server which we provision and we install all the required softwares, then we call it as a GitLab runner. It is not any normal agent. It is a dedicated server where we configure this server as a slave to this GitLab runner, so that whenever you initialize any job in the GitLab, it is going to execute that job over here. Is it clear how GitOps works and what we are doing? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And
Yeah.
hope
So
you
All
will
right.
talk a bit more on the runners in just maybe in couple of minutes, correct?
Runners, I don't talk, but if you have any doubts, you can ask now itself.
Okay, okay, now, okay then. So runners, you said that it would be very similar to the Jenkins slave. But when
Yes.
I try to do runner, because from the GitLab itself, it is asking me to go and create the runner, and I'm getting some options. But I don't see
Hmm.
that it is just like creating a VM kind. I thought it is just like a
No,
wrapper
no, no, no.
or
Yeah, okay, okay. I will clarify your doubt. Usually, what do they do? If you have a code and if you go to the actually, I cannot open my GitLab account over here, but usually there
yeah,
is a option that, okay, build and pipeline option in the GitLab. Whenever you
yes,
click on the build and pipeline, you can create a pipeline. Whenever you create a pipeline from the GUI, okay, then it will ask that, do you have your own dedicated GitLab runner, or do you
yes,
want to use our own GitLab runner? So
yes,
if
yes.
you say that, okay, use your own GitLab runner, then what does it do? These guys have the cloud GitLab runners. Okay. So they are going to use the cloud GitLab runners to deploy on your environments if it is necessary.
Okay, that means in the background, the cloud itself, like the GitLab itself, is taking the
Yeah,
ownership. Just for the
of
time being, it is
provisioning this
just
server.
creating one. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
provisioning for that particular job. So once it is done, might
particular
be that
job.
particular VM will be shut it down.
It's not shut it down. They might be using for other users like you, because there could be a
Okay,
millions of users for the GitLab, right? So there could be already up
okay,
and running systems will be there. Your job will be
okay,
executed on that cloud. But again, there is a limitation, I believe. You can use hardly 1 month if you want to practice like that. Okay.
Yeah.
After that, they charge for that. Okay. But
Okay.
you can create one VM and you can install GitLab runner over here. There is a configuration document. If needed after this call, I will share because I kept it
Yeah. Yeah.
somewhere in my
Sure. Sure.
uh, documentation. So I will
Yeah. Sure.
share the document with you. So with by following that document, you can take one EC2 instance, you can configure it as a GitLab runner, and there could be some authentication code on the GitLab. You can give that authentication over here. Then your EC2 instance or your VM became a slave to this GitLab. And while
Okay.
running, you can choose this server as your GitLab rather than using the cloud-based environments.
Cloud based. Yeah.
As we are using our proprietary data, we don't want to run it in the cloud-based runners because we don't know who
Yep.
all and all are using.
Yep.
And
Yep.
in the enterprises, we will create our own GitLab runners.
Yep. Yep.
Shankar,
Clear? Go ahead,
Yeah. Yeah.
Teja.
Clear. Clear.
this sounds like the same thing that Git Actions is doing in GitHub.
Yeah, what's Michael? Come again?
As does it do the same thing as the Git Actions in GitHub?
Could be, yeah, could be because I don't have experience with the Git actions.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Git actions also like similar, if I am not wrong, by based on the naming convention I'm thinking.
Yes, I think it's the same thing because that one it works with runners too.
Yeah, could be because
Yeah.
as those two are the competitives, okay, so whatever
Yeah.
GitLab we can do, similar can be done with the GitHub also.
Okay.
Any other doubts, folks?
Shankar, I have a question. We have three different AWS accounts for three different environments, right? So they'll
Hmm.
be giving the credentials to us, right? So how they will share and how we need to store. We cannot store it like just like that on our desktops or somewhere, right?
Yeah,
So
valid point. But yeah, they should provide the credentials. There is no another way. What do they do?
mm,
They will create an IAM user for you, and
correct.
they will share the credentials along with the access key ID and secret access key as well. Because as you are a DevOps engineer or AWS
Mm-hmm.
engineer, you might need to log into that account through the CLI or GUI. So
Mm-hmm.
they provide both the access for you. You need to maintain your credentials. But in
Mm-hmm.
IAM, there is a option to rotate your credentials, how usually we do for our internet banking, right? Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
every 90 days, you can define that policy that every 90 days you should rotate. MFA should be enabled, like this will be
Okay.
there, like this it is there. So we need to provide our credentials, also we need to give the MFA, then only you can able to log into the AWS account. That is common
So,
how we
so
usually use in our personal account
mhm.
as well.
Okay. So my question is like medium. How it will be shared, like over email or
Yes, over
somewhere
email. No,
over
over
email.
email. Yeah, whenever you
Okay,
join in
and
the
they can be
organization.
stored on. Okay, they can be stored on our desktop.
Why do
So
you share it,
why I'm
store it?
asking,
Yeah.
no, why I'm asking this question is in one of the interviews I got this question that
Mhm.
so you have this PEM keys and access keys and you're gonna store it on your desktop or somewhere in some secured place. How are you gonna store this?
See, usually we will store it in our local system. It doesn't mean
Mm-hmm.
that desktop, somewhere in the in our system. But if you want to keep it more secure, there are some tools on our desktop also. Okay, but
Okay.
I will tell you how we are
Mm.
doing. Okay, over here,
Okay. Okay.
what I said is that is the common practice. Okay, even when I
Mm-hmm.
joined in my organization, I will just remove this one. So
Okay.
maybe it is distracting, but let me explain. It is important. So we have around 15 accounts, right? So I said that not 15, around 30 accounts we have. Okay, I said that we have a dedicated team who create the accounts. What do they do? There
Mm-hmm.
will be a one master AWS account. Okay,
Mm, right.
one master AWS account. These 30 accounts will be the child accounts. So what do? They create my account over here. Okay, once they create my account over here, I can log into any of these systems. Okay, there are some mechanisms, role based access we called in AWS. So if you enable role based access, once you have logged into this system, from this system to any of these systems, you can log in, provided they gave access to these systems. You can restrict to access only out of 30, only 3 you can restrict, 5 you can restrict. You can get all 30 accounts access also. Okay, but there is a role based access, and you can define uh, your access in such a way in the IAM that you have a master account. So master account credentials they will share. Okay, what they have done, they have shared these credentials, username and password, and also access key ID and secret access key. Okay, they have shared this information with me. So what I have done, I have logged into over here, and I can able to switch. Yeah, till now they haven't given 30 accounts access yet to me. Around 10 accounts they have given. Okay, based on work they are keep on adding remaining accounts, and I can able to switch to the these accounts through any of these accounts, whatever wherever I have access, through the AWS CLI as well. Same access key and secret access key will work in the other accounts also. That's how it will be. Does it clarify your doubt? I don't know your name. See, it is going to vary based on the environments. Okay, this is the one which we are using, and sometimes what do they do, 3 4 accounts are there, managing this could be difficult for them. It could be the individual user, and few accounts, what do, they will add this one to the all these 30 accounts to the this one. In Microsoft we have single sign-on. Okay, single sign-on is there. Let's take that you have a Gmail account. With the Gmail credentials, you can log into the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere, right? That is a single sign-on. Similar way, what do? They will add your account to the single sign-on, and that single sign-on is enabled on the AWS accounts also. Then with the same username and password, if you log into the one tool with that credentials, you can log into the any other tools without any password. That is also possible. But what kind of mechanism you are implementing in your environment, that differs based on the environments. Clear? Okay, so I hope you people understand what is GitOps by this time. GitOps is nothing but keeping your infrastructure code in the version control system, and using the pipelines to create your infrastructure. If you are doing that one, that we call it as a GitOps. All right, now in my environment, okay, in the Terraform or through the Terraform or some scripts we are using, with that, this is what we are going to do. We are going to create AWS secrets, as I mentioned. Then we are creating Route 53 hosted zones, because each application should be accessible outside. In our case, uh, outside, yes, I think it should be accessible from outside, because these all are customer faced applications. So there will be a subdomains we create for the each account. Okay, so Route 53 is necessary. Then create AWS VPC with six subnets. Okay, then create a Bastion host to log into the EC2 instances if needed, and a GitLab runner. Okay, so you might get confused why we are creating a GitLab runner. This is for the application deployments. So you might see this is a GitLab runner, right? This GitLab runner we are using for the infrastructure deployment, not for the application deployment. Now once we have provisioned the this infrastructure, okay, in this infrastructure developers are going to use this AWS account, right? So they need a GitLab runner to create their pipelines and other stuff. Okay, we have another DevOps team. Them we called them as a operations team. What do? They create the pipelines. Let's take that what you people are learning from the Valaxy, right? Okay, in the Valaxy you are going to see that how to create the pipelines for the applications. So what do? They are going to do by taking this application, I mean to say whatever we are provisioning over here, by taking this application in this GitLab runner, they are going to create the pipelines for the application deployments and application what I can say builds. Okay, so that is why we need a GitLab runner. Next, we are going to create the EKS cluster. EKS cluster, nothing but we are going to create with one master node and 3 worker nodes by default. Okay, if they need more worker nodes, we are going to change the configuration and re-execute the Terraform script. Okay, uh, that's it. Then we can increase the number of nodes, and we are going to, sorry. Okay, some distraction. Yep. So we are going to create the EKS cluster for this one. Okay. Next thing is we are going to create the ingress controller, because these applications we are having a different, we are going to deploy different applications on this EKS cluster. That's the reason we need the ingress controller. And this is monitored with the Terraform. Even Terraform also we are setting up with the uh, sorry, Datadog. Yeah, we are using Datadog. So we are setting up the Datadog also through the Terraform. So this is how we are going to set it up. But sometimes what do? They will come up that within a environment we need the uh, uh, 2 3 different this one what I can say segments we call it as. But for your information, just think that regions, because they need at any point of time this should be highly available. Then what do we do? Same infrastructure. Okay, secrets is common in the AWS account. We don't create secrets. Route 53 also we don't create, but we will create from the step 3 to last. We are going to create one more environment in the other region. Okay, so it is like a, just think like a DR activity. Okay, same environment we will be creating the 2 different regions, so they will work on one region. In case if something goes wrong in that environment, okay, and they want to use the environment, then they can use the alternative environment. Okay, so that is what I can say for the DR purpose or some other purpose. But for this there is a concept called, I would request everyone go on mute here. I don't know how to mute. Mute everyone. Mute everyone. Mute everybody. Mute all. Okay, done. All right. So, yeah. So what I was talking, yeah. For DR purpose, there is a service called AWS Global Accelerator. Okay. By using Global Accelerator, we are going to route the traffic between the 2 different regions. Okay, if it is beyond your knowledge, just ignore it, but just think that these all are things we are going to create with help of the GitOps. So far clear? Are you guys with me?
Shankar, business lines you mentioned, could you just give us background?
Yeah, business lines, nothing but let's take that. Okay, for your understanding, in a project, okay, uh, there could be the multiple requirements. Let's take a simple example of some trading trading application. But instead of trading, let's take a banking application which is common for everyone. Okay, in a banking, okay, there could be multiple departments, right? Like loan department will be there, credit card deployment, banking deployment, next insurance deployment, and a few other things. Let's take these 4 at this moment. Okay, now banking is there, insurance is there, personal loans, vehicle loans, and credit cards. These all are the different business lines within the organization. So one might not be, all are same related to the finance. Okay, one might be dependent or independent to the another business, but you need to do uh, you need to run that application. So in this case, maybe I can talk about my application is a HDFC. okay, is one of the Indian bank. Okay, if somebody doesn't know. Okay, so in the HDFC there are different segments. These we call it as a different business lines. Each different business lines require the different environments. Again, if you go to the personal loan, there could be again multiple projects will be there. One is the in the banking itself. Okay, there could be multiple projects if it is really needed. There could be the internet banking. You can treat it as a one project. And next thing is ATMs. You can treat it as another branch, another project. And offline banking, you can treat it as another bank. um, Mortgages, you can treat it as another bank project. Like that, you can based on the project, different business lines or different verticals or different projects, you can go up to any level. Okay, in our case, just yeah, you can think, because even I'm working as on a financial project. Okay, they are doing the trading. Okay, it is a trading application. Okay, whenever we do the trading, in the trading there will be a multiple stuff like F&O, future and options, next delivery, intraday, and commodity trading. Like that, there could be different, and within these different projects also will be there. Like intraday itself, there could be different. Okay, so based on the business logic, you can create different business lines. Within the different business lines, you can create different projects. Maybe sometimes entire business line became a single project. Sometimes a business line can have the multiple projects. That's why whenever we talk about a project, it doesn't mean that you should have a only one environment. If you take over here, yeah, that is what I mentioned at the end. Okay, somewhere over here. So we have around 11 GitLab runners in our environment. Each GitLab runner works for the different business line. Around 30 AWS accounts. One business lines use the one or two or three AWS accounts based on their criticality applications. Okay, so though I'm supporting a single project, okay, for the namesake on the organization level, but we are having the different almost 11 GitLab runners, around 30 AWS accounts. Does it give some light on the?
Yeah. Yes, Shankar, actually, thanks.
No problem. Okay, so don't worry while talking in the project. Okay, if they say that, are you working on a single project? Yeah, we have 10 different what I can say, verticals within the single project. And they might ask that, how many servers do you have? You cannot say that, okay, we have two clusters, 10 worker nodes. Okay, because you cannot say that, okay, everything is working on the Kubernetes. Okay, there will be many applications which are running on the standalone systems as well. Okay, we have around 200 servers. Out of them, around 50 we have cluster, I mean to say EKS cluster worker nodes. Around sorry, not three EKS clusters are there. Each one have 10 to 15 worker nodes. Remaining all are EC2 instances. Then there will be a privilege to use Ansible as well as the microservice. Okay, if their requirement is a and VM based, yes, you are eligible. Their requirement is a container based, you are eligible. Okay, like that we have three four projects are there within this one, sub projects. One is this one. Okay, let's take a banking itself. Okay, one is a personal loan department, another one is mortgage, another one is a vehicle loans. These all are loans only, but three different segments. Even you can add business loans. Now it came four projects we are working within the personal loans department itself.
Yeah, yeah. On that note, I like
Yep.
that sort of questions will be asked in the interview. So when we are going for the
Hmm.
DIT training, we will expect that give us one scenario that okay, this is a shopping portal we are developing, so this many nodes and servers will be required for this. Would be appreciated because everybody are new here and wants to understand how the system have been set up. You know.
Okay, okay. See, whenever we are learning, okay, replicating similar kind of things might be difficult, but yeah, theoretically we can discuss. If something
Yes,
is missing,
theoretically. No, not
yeah,
definitely
we'll
not
definitely
practically.
take care.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Yep. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, so far we have discussed only the theoretical part of the stuff. I will little bit dive into the technical point of stuff. Maybe it will be useful if you people are attending the interviews. It doesn't mean that okay, it will be the same everywhere. It is project specific. That is what I want to stress, because for DevOps there is no standardization. Okay, it can be anything. Now, if you see what we usually think about DevOps, what I am doing is differ, but still I am doing DevOps. Okay, so the technology stack what you are using you can use in any way. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, that is what I want to say. So as I said, okay, we are using more Terraform over here, and this is one of the Ansible scripts we are using. So you can see here these all are YAML files. One initialize for terraform.yml. So there is a in Terraform, sorry, in Terraform usually there will be a concept called a state file if somebody doesn't know. Okay, so state file which will be the copy of your running environment. Okay, terraform.tf state file we call that should be in the secure location. Usually in AWS we store it on S3. Okay, so to store it on S3 we should have an S3 bucket first. Okay, so here what we have happen here what we do is we should not do anything manually. I can go and create S3 bucket manually, but it is not allowed over here. Whatever you are creating, try to make it as a automation. That is the primary requirement over here. For that we have done sorry, we are using Ansible. So init for terraform.yml. Okay, this script what does it do? It will go to AWS account and create the S3 bucket. What the hell is happening over here? So we are talking about Terraform, okay, but Terraform required a resource. We are using other tool to create the infrastructure, right? Here we are using Ansible to create a S3 bucket. Okay, why do you need S3? We need a Terraform. It is kind of a chicken and egg problem. Okay, because without S3 bucket we cannot start using the Terraform. Okay, without Terraform we cannot create the infrastructure. So that's the reason we bypassed this with the Ansible. So we are creating S3 bucket with help of Terraform. This is the one of the reason which we could not able to avoid using the Ansible. Okay, that is one thing. Okay, I will tell okay why it will take more time for us to decommission Ansible. Okay, next thing, if you see that inventory AWS ec2.yml, here we are going to mention the bastion host and controller. I mean to say, yeah, this GitLab runner is there, right? So those servers, some configuration we keep it and we run it. And rotate EC2 SSH keys. Actually, the name is wrong. It is just to create EC2 key pair. Okay. Usually, whenever you want to provision EC2 instances, of course, you need a EC2 key pair, right? EC2 key pair, you need to create it. So we are creating the EC2 key pair by using the Ansible scripts. So these all are the scripts which we are using at the Ansible level initially. And internally, this might call some of the what I can say Python or shell script. Okay, that is beyond the scope, but how we are uh, kickstarting our infrastructure provisioning, that is what I just try, I just want to emphasize on that. So that's why I kept this slide. Is it good? Are you with me? Any questions?
Yes, thanks.
All right, now let's go. Okay, now let's go over here. So this is the one of the Terraform script which is the main, I mean to say initially how it is going to initialize. I hope it doesn't have any proprietary data. Yeah, you can see here backend S3 encrypt we are doing region this one and DynamoDB table. Okay, so this DynamoDB table actually I have explained in one of my YouTube video that how you can use the DynamoDB table, or multiple users are working on Terraform within a team, how they can make sure that they are not what I can say disturbing the running AWS infrastructure. Okay, for that you need a DynamoDB table which will be keep on checking that if one user is executing the Terraform apply or Terraform plan, there will be a line will be created in the one entry will be added in the DynamoDB. If one entry is added, other user not allowed to run the Terraform plan or Terraform apply. That is the overall logic how it works in the Terraform, so that you don't disturb the uh, um, currently running process, or you don't disturb the current running Terraform apply. Okay, so this is the one. And required version, then required providers. You might be thinking that we just need a provider of only AWS, but apart from AWS we need a Datadog. Based on the services what and all you are using, you need to choose those providers. Okay, you can see these providers, and this is a key prefix. I just need to go through with this one. I just copied, but yeah, why I kept this snippet over here is, you might be thinking that okay, required providers always I see only AWS. Can't I use any other? Yeah, you can see here we are using Datadog. Okay. Next thing is, this is again modules. So here we are calling lot of modules. It is actually deeply integrated Terraform scripts, I can say. Even if you ask me that, can you write it? Honestly, I cannot do that. This will be done by one of the developer who is very good with the Java applications. I had a discussion with him, and he is very good with the programming. So he could come up with the lot of the logics, and he know the Terraform. That's why he could able to write this wonderful scripts. Okay, honestly, okay, if you ask me, or if you ask any DevOps or any infrastructure guy to write this kind of scripts, I can say that it is highly impossible. Okay, don't get scared by looking at the script, because as a DevOps engineer or as a infrastructure guys, we rarely write these kind of heavy codes until unless you have a very good knowledge in the scripting or programming. Okay,
Hey,
but
Shankar,
don't worry. Mhm.
is Datadog free or paid? Like we can use
We
it?
are using licensed one at this moment. Okay, I'm really it is paid
It
also
is,
there. Everything is
yeah, it is a
free
14
and
days trial version only.
oh, but yeah, free trial I have seen, but yeah, because even Datadog is new for me, you can experiment it. But what we are using is the licensed one.
Is it like the Prometheus or Grafana or the?
Yeah,
Is it
same
like
thing.
that?
Prometheus and Grafana. It is a alternative tool. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So here we are using Datadog. It doesn't mean that everybody should use this one. You can use the Prometheus and Grafana, or a few other monitoring tools if it is needed. Yeah, you can do that. Nagios and Jabex, few other stuffs are there. Any other questions? Okay. So this is another module which we are calling from one module to another module, and you can see here segment east. Okay, segment base. All right, there are some modules which we have the this one. I just kept this snippet just to show you that which Kubernetes version we are using, and this is all is what I can say script baseline, right? Even you can see here where dot environment, where dot segment. Why I kept this one is, okay, where dot environment, we will just mention it as a dev, so that what will happen, our environment will be set up in the dev environment. Okay, and if we change the where dot environment to the QA, then the deployment will go and happen over here. That is how we are using the variables. Okay, if we mention it as a prod, it will go and deploy it into the prod. And which region? So the region name we will mention in the segment. Okay, let's take that. In one AWS account, we want to use deploy the same infrastructure in two different regions. We will mention it as a US East 1, US East 2, something like that. Okay, so this is another snippet, okay, which just show you that, okay, Kubernetes version 1.3 or 1.4, then only it works. Okay, and how we
Shankar,
can change
one
on
question.
which account. Yeah, 1 minute. Okay,
Yeah.
another thing is, we will define over here that on which environment this should be run. Okay, we will pass this where dot environment and where dot segment. Yeah, now go ahead, Srinivas.
Yeah, Shankar. You said that, see, for example, we have three environment, dev, QA, and prod. In the variables.ef, the like in the variables.ef, this environment value will be there. So there we will mention as a QA. If we mention it
Yes.
as a QA in the background, how it is going to touch? For example, in the QA environment, there are things how the mapping is going to be happen.
That is where we are
In
using the AWS secrets. Yeah, good question. So in the AWS secret, one of the parameter we will mention the AWS account name as well. Okay.
okay,
That account name we will map the value as a while creating account also we will use some naming conventions. Those naming conventions we should use over here. That is some little bit of customized one, but
okay,
somewhere we are giving that mapping. Just assume that somewhere we are
okay,
giving
okay. So
mapping that
somewhere we have
okay
to mention,
QA
yeah,
nothing
that's
but
yeah.
yeah, that logic we are doing it. Good question.
So that logic we used to do it in a secrets file only, or any other file, like in the same folder in the root
Secret and
module
in the
itself.
we will export that account details. Okay, there will be a runtime we can do. Uh, that account
Okay,
usually retrieves actually. Okay, we will add it to the secret, then it retrieves in the Terraform. That's how actually we are defining in the Terra. This one only. I mean to say what uh, secrets, and also while running your Terraform. What credentials you are using, right? That will tell you that on which account you should do the deployment.
okay,
I'm just saying that. Okay, now whenever
yeah,
you
yeah.
want
So one
to
way,
okay, whenever you want to run okay Terraform plan, okay, some credentials should be there in over here, right? This account credential should be updated over here.
yes,
Yes or no? Okay,
yes, yes.
so if I give this account credentials, then it will come and deploy over here. That is the simple logic. However, we are defining that in the secrets. Why we are
Okay,
defining in the secrets? Yeah, for the Datadog purpose. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
As it is a proprietary data, I cannot what I can say walk through in this playground much. I'm just trying to give some logical information so that it will
Yes,
be
yes,
helpful. That is the overall
yes.
intention.
And no, no. Can you go to the previous snippet? See, as per
Yes.
the last line, we are mentioning two versions here.
Mm, mm.
So that means we are just giving the generic value. How many versions are there? We are mentioning here, and in the environment file itself, we will mention the specific version which we are going to do deploy.
It can be either 1.23 or 1.24. Again, there is a one more module to set up the EKS cluster. There we should use only 1.3 or 1.4. If we are using any other version, it won't run. It won't match.
Okay,
That is the
okay,
meaning
okay.
of
So that
it.
means it will come here and it will check that okay, any one of these matching or not. Then it will trigger.
Yeah, yeah. If we want to
Okay.
use some other version, we will change. Let's take that we want to upgrade our environment to the 1.5. In the EKS module, I mean to say EKS Terraform script, we will change there 1.25, and here also we should change. Then the script will
Yeah,
accept it.
that means these two values should be matched.
Yeah, any one of these two values should be
Yeah, any
matched
one
with
of
the
yes,
our
yeah,
EKS variable.
module.
Yep. Yes.
Shankar, I got one more question.
Hmm.
In real time, will there be any situation like this to create from scratch? I mean, the infrastructure to create from scratch similar like this for dev, QA, and prod at the same time with the same script?
There could be. Okay. Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, see, it is not going to be. If you ask me that, okay, did they
Mm-hmm.
create this script in 2 months or 3 months? No, they took almost four to
Okay.
5 years to create this one. Okay,
Oh.
if you are working in such a long time in any project, even you can design.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you ask me,
Okay.
can you write this script now? I can say no. If you ask me after 1 year, maybe I can say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or after 2 years, I can say that yes, I know everything. I can do that one. Because how comfortable with the environment, if you are doing it manually also, how comfortable you are with the environment, then you will be keep thinking that how you can make it as a script if you know the tool.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. That's how it is
So
going to
yeah,
be run.
yeah, that's what I'm worried after seeing this much big script. So thank
No,
you.
no, no, because they were working almost 5 years. Okay, so they know each and
Okay.
everything, and they are lucky enough that they came from the development background as well. Okay,
Okay. Gotcha.
Mm.
So if we get such situation, and if someone asks us to, if our manager asks us to create a script like this, do we ask help help actually? Do we need to
Yeah,
ask?
you can ask. You can ask. And if you
Okay.
ask me over here, okay, see,
Uh-huh.
whenever they ask me in interviews, I said that Terraform, I don't have much experience. GitLab, I don't know anything. JFrog, I have
Okay.
experience. Ansible, I have. EKS cluster.
Mhm.
Datadog, I don't know. Apparently, I said that I don't
Okay.
know. I
Okay.
don't know that. Now we have an issue with the one of the application in the Datadog. We are unable to monitor the application logs. They asked me that
Mm-hmm.
to work on. I don't know how the Datadog works. How can I work? I need some time to learn it. That's what
Mm.
I said. What they can do,
Okay.
okay? They can accept it if you don't know. They will give some time. You need to make utilization of that time. They give some time that okay, you can take care. You just go through with the Datadog training, and then you can configure in between if it is possible. Yeah, that would be helpful for us. Then they asked me to set up GitLab, all these things. Initially, I said that I don't know anything. Okay,
Mm.
let me go through with that one. They gave 5 to 6 days time, a week time. Then I went and I understood that okay, this is how it works. Completely, I don't understand, but based on the logic, I can understand that this is how it is working. Then okay,
Okay.
test it and do it. If I am looking at the code every day and frequently, I will understand the logic how it is working. Okay, whenever I
Okay.
execute it, I will understand. That will give the logical connection. If something is not working, where I can go and check it out. That's how you will be
Mm.
start thinking. Then you will go
Mm.
and refer the entire code. Okay, once you go with the entire code, you might not understand the problem, or you might not
Mm.
understand where to fix the solution, but you at least understand little bit of logic how it is working. If you keep
Right.
digging, you might understand the problem, but because of that you understand the most of the logic how this script works.
Mm.
Okay.
Correct.
Then next time some other problem comes, you might not spend the similar amount of time, right? Because you know
Mm.
already the logic, you will be more quicker comparatively before. If these kind of
Mm.
situations happen 10 to 15 times, you are good enough that okay, if some problem comes, where I need to go and look. That's what we call it as a experience. Okay, experience doesn't
Okay.
mean that okay, you can identify the problem like that. Even though I have 13 years of experience, if they come with some problem, I say that I cannot, I don't know the logic what you are using. How can I go and fix in the second day? Even though 13 years of experience, I cannot fix any problem all of a sudden until unless I know the logic. Even I will take the
Okay.
similar time what you are going to take. Okay, but
Okay.
after 2 3 months, then if they come and ask that okay, can you find a solution? Yeah, this could be the problem because I have already
Okay.
gone through this code some time back. So this logic might work over here. We should go and check over here. After 6 months,
Mm.
you can find out that okay, yeah, this line is modified. I have done that. Because of that, this is changed.
Yep.
Okay,
Got it.
that's we
Thank
call
you.
it as a experience.
Yep.
Okay, trust me that if you are keeping experience, it doesn't mean that okay, all of a sudden, if I leave you, if you are in Bangalore, I leave you in somewhere in the US, all of a sudden you can go and identify the which bus you can catch to reach the destination. You should understand how the bus network works over there also. Okay, which bus number you need to get in, and how you
Yep.
can go, which side you need to walk. These all are new for everyone. So environments also like that. You are entering into the new city, but you know the logic
Mm.
that okay, for automation I need to use the Terraform, something like that. To travel I need to use
Mm.
the bus or cab. Okay, to
Mm.
go to the long distance I need to catch the train. Only that you know, but where to go, how to catch, again new for you.
Right.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay, let's come back to our discussion. Hope it is not boring. Are you guys with me? Yep. Good.
Yeah, it's interesting. Thank you.
Good. No problem. So again, I kept one more module snippet over here. Okay, this is how we can pass the variables to the running script. Okay, here if you see environment we are passing, segment we are passing, SSL certificate, because we, yeah, I forgot to tell you, we are creating the SSL certificate because in the real world we use the HTTPS connections. HTTPS requires the SSL certificate. we are using AWS certificate manager. There we create a SSL certificate we are using an internal DNS. We are creating a route 53 DNSs, EKS node role ARN, data.terraform remote state. Okay, it is retrieving. Yeah, another thing I just would like to tell, data. Okay, so usually data means what will happen. Let's take that uh, a simple example. Okay, while creating an EC2 instance, you want to use the security group. Either you can create a security group newly, or you can retrieve the existing security group. Whenever you want to retrieve the existing security group, you can use the data. Okay, usually if you use the data resource, okay, that is going to retrieve the existing resource from your AWS account and use in the whatever you are provisioning right now. Okay, so here we are for this also there could be another snippet. It doesn't mean that you can just write data terraform so and so. This is somewhere defined, okay, how to retrieve also. Okay, so we are retrieving the remote state east base outputs. Okay, some DNS IDs we are retrieving, EKS node role ARN. Okay, this is the EKS node role we are retrieving, and the Datadog API key and Datadog app key. These are the secrets. Okay, see how we are calling the secrets. These secrets we added in the secrets AWS secret manager, and there is a respective module to retrieve these secrets from the AWS secret manager, and we are using in this script. Okay, this is how you can pass the variables from one module to another module, or existing resources to the module which you are using. Like this you can pass it. Okay, that's why I kept this snippet again. Okay, only the intention of this snippet is how we can retrieve some resources from the existing or in the secrets. Okay, this is how we can do. Clear? What is this snippet? Yeah. So this is another snippet. Okay, I was talking about the we will retrieve the AWS account ID also, right? So this is to retrieve the your AWS account ID. We are using this one for the some Datadog and Kubernetes setup, and you can see here we are using the Helm charts as well. That is the intention I have kept it, because we are creating the ingress controller over here. As I said, we are going to deploy multiple applications. Not we, application team is going to deploy multiple applications. So they need they need an ingress controller, because they cannot create the multiple, what I can say, load balancers, application load balancers. Okay, that's the reason we are using the ingress controller. And we are just, you can see here, this is how you can call the Helm charts in the Terraform. So we are creating a resource called Helm resource ingress nginx. It is depends upon the Kubernetes namespace, because we are using the namespace as a nginx. So we are creating this one over here. First we are, whenever you want to run this, depends on, it is depending on this one, uh, Kubernetes namespace.nginx, Kubernetes namespace.ns nginx. Okay, and in this namespace we are creating the name, and this is the repository, and we are doing some customization to our default ingress nginx controller. Okay, that is the reason we are using the dynamic block, but that have the some proprietary data. That's the reason I didn't keep that stuff over here. So we are changing this dynamic block is another option in the Terraform. Okay, which you can change some code which you pull from the directly from the web. Okay, that's why we are using the dynamic block. So this we are you pulling the Helm charts. In the Helm charts we want to do some changes. To do some changes we are using the dynamic block. Okay, again the intention of this snippet is how we can use the Helm charts within the Terraform, and indirectly to show you that, okay, we are deploying the ingress controller through the Helm charts for the Kubernetes. Okay, so this is some technical stuff which I would like to share with that context. As I said, this is how our architecture will be there. So developers have their code over there, over here, and they have their own dedicated GitLab runner, and they can deploy on their accounts. Okay, like this we have uh, around 15 business lines, I think. Okay, not 15, 11 business lines. Yeah, 11 business lines. So each one have one GitLab runner, and they might have the multiple AWS accounts. Now for each business line, there is a dedicated DevOps engineer. Okay, now we have 11 business lines. So for 11 business lines, 11 DevOps engineers, and in our team we have one, two, three, three counterpart, two. Okay, around five are there. Six were there, one guy left. Five we are only to provision this infrastructure and do. Now you may ask that what you people do if already there is a dedicated DevOps engineers. Okay, our major work is to improvise this infrastructure. Nothing but okay. Now a simple example is okay. We are talking about this one, right? Now 2.3 and 2.4 with the current environments are running. 13 environments are running with the 2.3 or 2.4. Now if we want to update, okay, DevOps engineers can able to do on the existing systems, but there is a new project came. I cannot go with this version, right? I need to change this version. So I need to update my playbook. I need to test it out whether it is working fine or not. And I need to make sure that whenever I execute this script, it is going to work properly. Okay. Now let's take that again. In AWS, this version has been changed. Okay. I need to change it, test it. And if there is any improvements I can do, I need to do that one. And we want to delete the Ansible, or we want to go with the SSM. How we can do that one? Go with the SSM and test it out, and let's see. And yeah, another requirement I said that in Datadog, where I told about that. Yeah, in Datadog, okay, application logs are collecting. So they given a requirement that if you are setting up the next environment, that should able to what I can say, even collect the application logs as well. So update our script in such a way that it should also collect the application logs whenever they deploy the new parts or containers. Yeah, that is the requirement which is available current right now in my plate. Okay, so that's how the requirements will come. It doesn't mean that you will be sit idle once this is done, or once everything is done, what the work I will do as a DevOps engineer. There is always something, okay, to do that one. Now we are doing the patching for these systems as well. Okay, whatever GitLab runners, we are kind of responsible for the GitLab runners. Within the GitLab runners, maybe our DevOps engineers team can take up, like installing something on the GitLab runner, but maintaining GitLab runner is our responsibility. Now we need to go with the patching. Patching will happen every 3 months. Yeah, we need to take care of that. We are working on that. Sounds good. So like that, the work will come. Okay, now come back what we start to discuss. So architecture, business lines, pipelines. I just discussed how the pipelines is set up. Whatever you are doing, yep, that is the pipelines. Okay. Okay, now what you can focus now. Okay, so this is my personal opinion. Just I would like to share with you guys. So nowadays I could see that many people are asking at least one cloud, and cloud, then Terraform, then Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, so if you ask me that, okay, we have 10 to 15 DevOps tools, which one you want to give them good priority, or which one I can focus more? If you ask me that question, I would recommend you people that focus more on Terraform and Docker and Kubernetes and AWS. It will help either AWS or Azure, depends upon your interest of cloud. Focus on those. If you are good, sound enough on these, you are able to answer these questions, you can go and look into the next level, like this one, version control system and CI tool like GitHub or GitLab, Jenkins or GitLab. You can go and look into that. Ansible, I would say that, okay, if you are doesn't have time, just to try to avoid it, because until unless there are more VM based servers are there in the environment, such kind of people really look for Ansible people who are strong at Ansible. Okay, in the interviews also, if they are asking more, insisting you to asking about how Ansible, then it means that they are deeply using Ansible, and their environment more running on the VM based stuff. Okay, so that is what I would say. So if you ask me the priorities, first priority, give it to the Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes. Docker, there is nothing yet, just for namesake, because Kubernetes use the Docker. Okay, I can just naming it as a Docker and Kubernetes. Otherwise, Terraform and Kubernetes, if we talk technically. Okay, and anyway, the services which used by these two in AWS, those you should have a knowledge on AWS as well. You don't need to learn some Lambda functions or API or forget. All these things really not needed. Whatever generic AWS services are there, you just learn those. That would be more than enough at the cloud level. Okay, so that is the first layer. Once you are comfortable with this, then go with the Jenkins or GitLab or even GitHub actions, all these things, and version control system. And artifacts very less, right? Okay, don't no need to consider much about SonarQube or Maven. Okay, maybe basic how to build, if you know, that would be sufficient. Okay, so that is what how you can focus. And the next thing is current market opportunities. As per my knowledge, okay, I could see that good market is there for DevOps. Okay, many people are saying that a recession is there and not getting calls. Okay, honestly, if profile is you have updated good, there are enough calls in the DevOps. Example is me because I have updated my profile 4 months before. Within a month, I joined in this company. And especially if you are a really quick joiner, okay, you will get hell lot of calls. That I have experienced it. Okay, say that your notice period is 7 days or 15 days. Honestly, you will get huge calls. Okay, and if you are not getting calls, also don't get disappointment, and you need to attract the calls. How can you attract the calls? Maybe approach the other recruiters, other technical persons in the LinkedIn. Build the rapport, because whenever you build the rapport, okay, and participate in the some of the discussions. If DevOps discussions are happening, okay, participate it. Whether you know answer or don't know, whatever you know, just try to tell them. Okay, they might advise you that okay, this is wrong, this is right. Okay, so that you can build your social proof. Nothing but people will start recognizing your ID, and if something is there, some opportunity come across in their path, they might refer you. It doesn't mean that they will come and ask you, but they might refer you if you are in good touch. So get in touch with the recruiters. Okay, LinkedIn is the one of the best way to use. So that's what I thought to discuss. I think I'm in the correct timeline. Okay, we are still 8 more minutes will to discuss. Now I'm open to take up if you have any other questions.
Hey, Shankar. So I was asking that should I focus on more on AWS services, like knowing more of the services?
No, that's what I said, right? Okay, don't no need to focus more on more AWS services. What you are generally using, like S3, VPC, IAM, load balancer, Route 53, auto scaling. These common services would be sufficient. That's what I was trying to say.
So, Shankar,
Mm-hmm.
so in the like kind of building CI/CD, okay, we
Mm-hmm.
build the artifact jar artifact. Okay, this is kind of one of the feature or a dependency we are building it and deploying. I
Mm-hmm.
believe if it is only war artifact, we able to get the web UI and we able to validate. If it is just a jar and the middle of and it is just we have started the
Mm-hmm.
project and we are having only jar at the time,
Mm-hmm.
how this is like kind of tested in each
See,
environment.
yeah, if it is a jar, it doesn't mean that when the application is there, you should test it with the GUI itself. Okay, even though it is a jar, they can give some inputs while running the jar file. Okay, they can run locally on their system and they can test it out. That is how the testers is going to test it out. Even you can run the jar. Have you tried it? Let's take that I have written a application for a calculator. Okay, that is a jar file. Whenever you run the jar file and you give the 2 plus 2, it give the 4 over there, which means that the logic is working or not in the jar. That's how it is going to be. Okay, but anyway, based on the artifacts, there are some defined sets of rules which can help you to test whether it is working fine or not. That is what I would say. And whether it is working or not, it is not your responsibility as a DevOps engineer. Building is your responsibility. If it is failing, okay, you need to communicate with the developers that okay, it is failing. If it is successful, okay, make sure that to make it successful, whether all the prerequisites are installed on your system or not, that is your responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks.
yeah. Are we going to hold the sessions like this more? Because this is
Yeah, that's
interesting
what I'm
and
saying. If it is interesting, we will try to bring more real-time people, or even I'm ready to share whatever my experience. Okay, so whatever I'm facing, I'm trying to come up with the YouTube videos for those also, but I'm not getting time. That's the reason I thought, okay, let's go with the session and connect with the people so that they can understand, even though I do some mistakes, but YouTube doesn't accept it.
no,
Okay,
it's
but
good
yeah.
because it's more interesting and understand it how actually the practical environment works and get
Mm-hmm.
get experience thoughts of you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will definitely. For now, let's keep it once in 2 weeks. Okay, if it is more crowd is coming in, okay, because it is not only for Valaxy students. Okay, whoever is interested for DevOps, we are fine. They can come and join. We don't mind on that. Okay, yes, we will bring these kind of sessions.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yes,
Yep.
please do. And I have one question, Shankar. So, like you said, if some company is using Ansible more,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know much, right? We are just trained and we are working on the basics for now, and we
Mm-hmm.
are attending the interview, and they are using more Ansible,
Mm-hmm.
and more of Windows servers only.
Mm-hmm.
Then how do we handle the situation? How we say that how much we know Ansible, and if they ask more questions on that, how do we handle?
See, if it is in your priority list, why I said that less priority, because
Mm-hmm.
if you are attending 10 interviews, in 10 interviews they
Mm-hmm.
might ask about Ansible in one or two. Because of one or two interviews, don't waste
Mm-hmm.
your time, or don't what I can say, misuse your time. That is the overall
Okay.
idea. Okay, so if they are
Okay.
asking more deeper, say that okay, I didn't work on much on Ansible. You cannot grab
Mm-hmm.
every opportunity. Okay, if you
Mm-hmm.
ask me, I'm the right example, or whoever joins with me in this project are
Mm-hmm.
the right example. Most of them doesn't have this technology stack. I have more
Mm-hmm.
experience on Jenkins, I have more experience on Ansible, I have more experience on GitHub, but
Mm-hmm.
still they have taken. I have experience on somewhat experience in the Prometheus and Grafana, but still they are using Datadog, they are using GitLab, they are using Terraform. Still they have taken it.
Mm-hmm.
They accept it. Okay, even though you know some of the tools. Trust me, in
Okay.
DevOps, your profile never suits 100%. If 50-60% it is suitable, yeah, that's okay. Okay, you are
Okay.
not only the guy who is working for that.
Okay. So one of the clients, they asked me that they were using this Ansible more for configuration and deploying the application, for managing the application more. So they asked me this question that do you also write any rollback plan if the application fails, if the that patch, that particular version fails? Do we
Mm.
have that feature in Ansible, rollback
It
option?
is not in Ansible. It is not in
Mm-hmm.
Ansible. Actually, what will happen? There will be a CAB, change advisory board. Okay, usually in the real world. Okay, what we
Okay.
will do whenever you want to do some changes, because whenever they are focusing more on Ansible and patching these kind of things, which means that
Mm-hmm.
they are going to take you for the infrastructure role. In the infrastructure
Okay.
level, what will happen whenever we want to do any activity, there will be a prerequisites,
Mm-hmm.
implementation plan, backout plan, or rollback plan. Prerequisites
Okay.
nothing but before starting your change, what and all things you need to take care. Let's take that I am patching a application server. Before patching an
Mm-hmm.
application server, you need to get approval from the application team. They should make sure that the application is going they are going to bring down before you are doing the patching. So if you are
Mm.
bringing down the application server, the people who are using that application server might get impacted. Them we call it
Mm.
as a stakeholders. So usually what will
Okay.
happen, let's take that 3 days, after 3 days I'm going to do the patching for the application server. I will send you a
Okay.
email before 1 week that we are scheduling a patching for so and so. Okay,
Mm.
which date and which time can we able to do that? Then application team will give some time that okay, you can patch on Saturday so and so time. Then application team will send the email to the stakeholders, nothing but who are using that application server. To them they will send that okay, we are bringing down our application on this day,
Mm.
so and so time to so and so time it won't be available. So you will
Okay.
send a proper notification, and application team will come and communicate with you that okay, you can go and do the patching. Now you need to do the patching. So these all are, I can say that, prerequisites. Even you can take the
Okay.
what is the current version, all these things you can collect it in the prerequisites. Then implementation plan. There will be a plan which you need to follow step by step. Okay, there is no deviation.
Okay.
That you can do the scripting or do something
Mm.
else, whatever you wish to do you can do. And there will be a step by step. You should not deviate from the script because it is approved by the cab. Okay, and you should do
Okay.
that one within the timeline also. You are
Okay.
overutilizing the timeline, or you are
Mm.
not able to complete it right way, expected output is not coming, then we need to go out with the back out or rollback plan we called. Okay, in the back
Mm-hmm.
out or rollback plan what we do, we should bring our system to the previous state, that is also
Okay.
reviewed and valid. Okay, so we need
Mm.
to, what
Mm.
and all steps we need to do, that is also it is mentioned, we are going to execute it. In this case if you are
Okay.
doing through the patching, okay, yes, you can able to what I can say, install, execute some commands for the patching or some activity. If it is not working, how you can roll back, that is also it should be written. Okay, if it is not working, I will go and install lower version, or I will remove the latest version so that the old version will be there, or I will remove the entire example. I can say that you want to install upgrading the git, you will go and yum install git. If you do, okay, if it is latest version it will get update. Okay, if it is not working,
Mm.
then you will roll back to the previous version, yum install git, and that version if you give, it will install the what was the previous version is there, that version it will get installed. Just I'm giving a
Okay.
overline how the process will work. If you are working for the infrastructure dedicated, this is how the things will work. Okay, this is we
Okay.
call it as a ITIL project process or change management process. But however,
Mm.
okay, as technology is evaluated so much, so now in case if you are doing these kind of activities, instead of bringing your system back, okay, by removing something and doing something, reprovisioning a system is more easy. Okay, that is how the technology is working. Earlier they will give
Okay.
one server, you need to make sure that everything is properly running over there, and if something goes wrong you need to fix it. Now it is not
Mm.
fixing, it is going to take the new server. Okay, that's why
Mm.
we are having the AMI, right? Let's take that you have
Mm.
done something, if it is not working, restore from the AMI. Okay, it's something like that. If your phone is not working, rather than
Mm.
repairing it, throw it out, buy a new one, because now phones are cheap. Similar way, now
Yeah.
servers are easy. Okay, if it is something not working, instead of what I can say, taking that headache to troubleshoot and bring it up, okay, bring the new server, delete the old server, map the IP, that's it, work is done.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, so how you manage it is all about, there could be multiple solutions, how smart you are to handle that situation. Okay,
Mm. Okay.
provided that your
Mm.
team is allowing to use your smartness.
Right. And if someone asks us how much Terraform you know, where did you use? How do
Hmm.
we say that?
See, Terraform is used for the infrastructure provisioning. Whatever I told just
Mm.
now, you can use the same scenario. Okay, yeah, we will
Okay.
set up the EC2, VPCs, subnets, EKS cluster, everything we are setting up through the Terraform. Now they will start asking. See,
Mm.
in interviews, mostly it is a generalized questions here. Don't worry about that one. Whenever you say that I know Terraform, I have set up this one, that one, then they will ask, how do you define a provider? How do you give a
Mm.
variable? What is stateful? This is how the questions will be. Okay, they cannot say
Okay.
that, okay, write down the code what you have written. You can say that, okay, how
Oh.
can I write my code in front of you? Just give me a use case, I will write it.
Mm. Got it. Got it. And like you said, if we keep notice period less than 15 days or 1 month, and we are getting calls. So while scheduling, they will be asking, where are you working currently? And then we say the client, right? So some VMware or Dell companies, we say they are recognizing that you have 2 months of notice period. Why are you saying that it is less than that? So
Okay, if
how do
they
we?
ask me this question, I will manage something like this. The project what I'm working is
Hmm?
about to get close because our client himself built the DevOps team. So we are giving the KT, and there was an incident that one of my colleague got job and they relieved within 15 days. I hope they can do for me also. I could sense that. That's why I'm saying this.
Okay, and they will ask that, could you send me that over email or something?
How I can send you an email without any offer?
Mm, got it. Okay.
Okay, can you send me the offer letter first without interview?
Mm. Yeah, got it. Got
Same,
it,
right?
Shankar. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Shankar, hello.
Yes.
Hello, Shankar. Yeah, Shankar, I have a question. Like, of late, the market looks like it's moving towards Azure, right? And I also get calls for Azure DevOps. So, like, from your point of view, if you could let us know that how good it is to learn that, and how good it is to keep ourselves updated. Because I'm AWS Cloud. I'm good at
Mm-hmm.
Terraform, but with Terraform, I've never used to provision Azure infrastructure. So it's
Okay.
predominantly with AWS. So, since I'm getting calls for Azure, right, I'm just thinking like, should we also learn that Azure DevOps? I know it's YAML, like Azure pipelines, everything is done through YAML only, but is it good that, we learn that as well and keep updated with that?
See, go with any one cloud. Multi-cloud, I don't recommend, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And another
Okay.
thing is, if you are getting Azure, okay, the thing is, see, it's something like that. Now, AWS is in the market and it is leading the market from quite some years, since quite some years, right?
Yeah,
So
they
that's
have
the
around
reason
50
it is
years
already
market
kind
share.
of a saturation. Okay, it might have
Mhm.
the 60% of market, but if you see the market size, yes, it is having the more market size, but it
Mhm.
doesn't
Yeah.
mean that Azure is not growing. Azure is growing. If it is in 10% and 10% to 20%, it is 100% growth. Okay, but yeah,
Okay.
Azure have the potentiality to grow because they have other services as well, right? Because many customers are already what I can say, using Microsoft products somehow. So for them there is a more advantage to capitalize the market. But yeah, for some time you can see the fast growth of Azure, but once it is reached to the some extent, you can see that okay, both are equally valued. But yeah, you can focus any one of these things, AWS or Azure. However,
Okay.
even though you go with AWS or Azure, whatever Terraform, GitLab runners, and Kubernetes, this doesn't change honestly. Okay, so
Oh,
this is
okay.
common irrespective of the cloud. Only you are changing the cloud, but not the technology.
Okay.
And if you know how
Okay.
to provision in AWS, you can easily
Mm-hmm.
understand how to provision in the Azure as well. But you just focus on one niche. Okay, it's something like that. Okay, standing in a queue, okay, where you feel that okay, it will go faster. Okay, maybe other can go faster. You just be patient. If you are switching here and there, you will be the last person who is reaching to the destination.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I was just confused because Azure. So many people are calling for Azure DevOps, and it's like Azure Cloud Architect, and so many things like that. So just wanted to know, is it good to
Mm,
learn both? Because it's already, DevOps is time consuming, right? There's so much to learn in DevOps. So
yes.
on top of that, if you keep shifting from AWS and Azure, that will be it'll put all the more difficulty or all the more pressure on us to learn multiple things. So anyway, I think you gave a good insight on what to do and how to go about it. Thank you so much, Shankar.
No problem, no problem. But keep building the rapport in your network. See, to be honest,
Okay.
nowadays technology alone doesn't help. Okay, you should showcase
Mm.
that you have the technology. Okay, then only in the current market it works. People very rarely reach out to you and ask that, okay, do you know this one, that one? Okay, at the parallelly they might look your social proof as well. That's why I'm saying that whatever you know, publish it as a document. Okay, keep some noise in the LinkedIn so that people will be start recognizing you. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
not only for technology, if you talk anything nowadays, marketing became a default skill for any job requirement.
Mm, mm, mm.
Okay, how you
Okay.
can market your profile, that's up to you.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Shankar.
No
Yeah,
problem.
hi, AR, Sangeeta here.
Hey Sangeeta, how are you?
Okay. What I wanted to ask you is that, like being you having this kind of experience in IT and
Mhm.
having more experience towards database application side and Kubernetes and all. My question
Mhm.
here is how much important is to have the scripting knowledge and the Python knowledge, okay, with respect to writing the program, not respect to the basics. Okay, basics we know that we would be able to grab it in a day or two. Because what
Mhm.
I'm hearing is nowadays the scripting people or whoever are there who have come from some different background, they are using this chat GPT and all to get it, and
Mhm.
then they have their experience to put the other things into that particular logic and then making it work. So the question
Mhm.
here is how much knowledge should we go about for the scripting writing specifically?
Okay, maybe it will be little bit deviate, okay, from the actual discussion, but it helps. Okay, I was discussing same about Kumar. Okay, if you don't know, he is a co-founder of Valaxy. Okay, I met him last month when I was in Europe. Okay, anyway, so chat GPT, very good point you bring it. Okay, so now honestly, okay, if you don't know the scripting also, you can use the chat GPT and you can accomplish your work. Okay, even I'm doing that in fact. Okay, and another thing is he was giving a very good statement that earlier information is free. Okay, now not earlier, yeah, so far information is free, nothing but whatever information you need, if you search right way, you are going to get the information. Because of chat GPT, thinking also free. Thinking nothing but if you don't know the some logic, you give that what you want to achieve, it will give that how you can achieve it. Okay, so now you just think that whoever thinks better, they will get opportunity. You have somebody who can think for you, but how you can use that thinking mechanism is interesting for you. I was trying this experiment in one of my YouTube also. I written how to provision a VPC. Okay, almost 30 minutes. Okay, I executed. After that, I just went and same query that I need a VPC with two subnets and so on. So it gave the same script. What the hell I have done for 30 minutes? That's what the intention of which I thought to show you in that video. Okay, so earlier information is free, now thinking is free. Don't think much about that. He know very well more than me, he has a very good logical thinker, all these things. Okay, if you know how to search, your job is done.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't think about that I need to write more deeper. Only thing is, as I said, clear the interview, get into the job, everything you will learn. That's what even I'm learning.
Thanks, AR.
Any other questions? Okay, Vijay Kumar, you are asking what is my YouTube channel. Valaxy Technologies is our YouTube channel. Okay, I think we have extended 15 minutes more. I think somebody is calling me. Oh shit. Okay, guys, I have to leave. Thank you so much for listening this session patiently. Okay, I could see good count, which means that it might be interesting. Okay, if you really need it, be keep in touch with us in the Instagram. Okay, you can follow me in the Instagram and where under you can follow, yeah, Instagram and LinkedIn. Okay, so if you need any information, you can just connect with our admin team. They will help you.